Welcome everyone to my take on UFC 117, coming to pay-per-view live on August 7th. Cannot wait. This is a great card, and if you've seen my videos before, you realize I keep them fairly short, focus on the main fights, even though I would love to see the preliminaries. But again, I like to keep my videos short and have you move on to doing whatever else you want to need to do, or any other videos you would like to watch. Just before I start with the fights, of course many people have said this card is the Brazil versus US, and even though Dana White says it was not intended to be that way, yeah, it just turned out that way. But when you look at these fights a little bit closer, even though on paper, face value, they look like great, entertaining, and well-matched fights, other than maybe one, I think there's a lot of mismatches here, and I'll explain what I mean when we go through these. The first fight to discuss is the Nelson and Dos Santos fight, and this one really just appears to be a mismatch. Dos Santos is just a much larger heavyweight, other than the gut, than Nelson. Has better punching power, is a better striker, and when that's being said, some people like to fall back on, well, Nelson has the black belt with Renzo Gracie. Okay, that's great. He has the black belt. The last time he had a submission was in 2006. We're now 4 years later, so clearly he's not falling back on his Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. He is trying to become more of a striker, and that's just obvious. He has more KOs than submissions. So regardless of his black belt capabilities, he's considered, and he's made himself a striker. If he tries to strike against Dos Santos, it's going to be over 1, maybe 2 rounds. Next, interesting battle between Hughes and Almeida. Hughes, of course, has been called the Gracie Hunter, the Gracie Killer. Almeida may be looking at this fight as a way for redemption. This fight goes one of 2 ways. Either Hughes is going to win by decision, or Almeida will submit before the 3 rounds. Not much more to say about this one. Hughes by decision, Almeida by submission. Next is the Fitch and Alves fight. I haven't checked lately, but I guess this fight will go on as long as Thiago meets the weight obligations. Last time I checked, he had about 7 pounds to go, according to his manager, or could have been his trainer. Either way, about 7 pounds, and that was last night. So, again, this fight goes one of 2 ways. Fitch has been a decision guy. Look at his last 6, 7, 8 fights. Decision, decision, decision. So either decisions Alves, or Alves kicks him and punches him to the ground and wins by TKO. Fitch, of course, is a tough guy, not the easiest guy to TKO or knock out, but Alves is bringing some strength, he's bringing some kicks, he's bringing punches, and again, Fitch possibly by decision, as he's proven he can do that, but I really think Alves is going to TKO him before then. And finally, we have the Silva and Sonnen fight. Interestingly enough, I mean, I'm not bringing anything new here. The majority of everyone believes that Silva is going to win this fight. But over time, I think maybe some of us have just thought for a moment, wouldn't it be interesting if Sonnen actually did win? How would that go down? It really is interesting just to think about it for a moment, if Sonnen really could win this fight. Not that I'm saying that I think he will, or even that I necessarily want him to. You know, trying to remain unbiased, Silva really should take him to task. Sonnen talks about how hard he trains for this fight, but I've tried to come up with an analogy, but this is a really bad analogy, but just go with me here. So you have a race car over here, and over here we have a minivan, and they're having a race. And the race car is really training and do his best to be a race car. And the minivan, you ask about the minivan's training, and the minivan says, well, I'm really working on my capacity, and I'm working on improving my capacity to win this race. When it comes down to it, the capacity really isn't going to help you that much. Sonnen has said that he's not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. He's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. So he's working on his stamina. He's working on his wrestling. Well, it's only going to get you it's only going to get you very far. This is MMA. This is not wrestling. Wrestling helps quite a bit, which we have seen. But if you don't expand your knowledge and your capabilities, you're a wrestler going up against Anderson Silva, and it's just not going to cut it. This fight goes 1, maybe 2 rounds. If it goes to 1 round, if it's ended to 1 round, it'll be Silva by submission, because Sun is really going to look to take him down early, and very likely he's going to get caught in something very early. If it goes to the 2nd round, the end for Sonnen will come and start with a knee from Silva, and after that knee hits, it's going to be a brutal bleeding after that. Could be completely wrong here on how it ends, but that's just my take. Again, Silva submission 1st round, or Silva TKO 2nd round. And that is about it. I'm not against bribing for those who would like to subscribe to my channel. I am going to have a drawing after the fights for any subscribers, new or old, for a free Extreme Couture shirt. Probably give away 2. Just want to make sure I get some new subscribers in there and maybe a current subscriber. Extreme Couture shirt to anyone who can keep my camera focused. Anyway, so 2 shirts. I'll have a drawing after the fights. If you subscribe, I'll send you a comment or a notice via YouTube, and just reply with your address and your shirt size. Appreciate the taking time to listen. I probably went longer than I normally like to, but so be it. And enjoy the fights. Take care. We'll talk to you next time.